Live now. Hello, hello, everyone. We are in our Co-Elevation Wellness Wednesday series, and I'm going to invite my friend Chris here. Let's see. Okay, yay. He's in here. Invite to join. Me request. He's coming on. He's coming on. You guys are in for a treat. We do this every third Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday, and yay!
Yes.
See you, brother. I've missed you the entire last month. So happy that everything got figured out, and we can have you over here as our honored guest. So first of all, do you mind, hi Dee, do you mind introducing yourself for the people, for my friends who don't know of you yet, but definitely they will come to know, because guess what? We are doing this every third Wednesday of the month. So Chris, go ahead. Tell the world what you do. Who are
That
you?
who am I? That's a great question, right? And it's probably something we'll talk about. But my physical form, I'm Chris Sirach, and I'm a teacher, a mentor on mindfulness, and I'm an author, and I work in corporate environments as well as individuals, and just helping folks become more aware of themselves, and it's a reflection of my own journey and what I've experienced, and just wanting to share that with a broader audience.
Thank you so much. And thank you for spending your precious time with all of us here. We are all learning. I just, whenever I get a chance, I hop on his YouTube videos, because he's one of those people, I like to be surrounded by, because it's a gentle reminder. Those of you who all know me, I'm all about my friends being gentle reminders to each other. So he's that gentle reminder for me to just be. Okay, especially I needed his presence this week, because it's a fun, crazy, but full week. And oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Literally, I just came in and I was like, I'm getting late. I need to be on this live. And he's always like, no problem. It's all okay. I'm here. So I just love that about you, because I want to be that presence to myself as well as others, my friends. So, YouTube, do you mind sharing where all people can find you? Of course, every third Wednesday, we are going to be here vibing just for about 30 minutes, but that is not enough. That is not enough. We need Chris on demand. So
Well,
evergreen.
you can have me on demand. So in addition to Instagram and Clubhouse, obviously as well. So I'm always doing usually impromptu sessions there. Then I'm on YouTube, and you can watch a bunch of videos there on my channel. Really, my website, Sirach.com, is where you'll find all the links to all the different resources, as well as to my book, and I've written many blogs and articles that you can find on there for free, and you can just read to your heart's desire, and see if any of that resonates. Two things that you mentioned, Mo, was the reminders are so important, because there's just so many things that are happening. Life is so diverse, and we tend to, when we're in our heads, we tend to get all complicated about it. Yeah, it's just like that. So simple, gentle reminders, just like you put it, it's beautiful. And if that's just making little post-it notes with little reminders on them, or checking in online, and making a habit out of maybe setting aside some time and watching some videos just to remind oneself. I have to remind myself all the time as well, because there's just so much to life and so much to ourselves. We're just fascinating creatures, and there's so many sides to us, and we go through so many different phases, and even every day so many different moods and dimensions. And so reminders are super important, just to kind of bring us back and come out of the mind, and remind us of the little things that bring back the connection to self. So
We know so little, right, about our own inner cosmos, outer cosmos. Life is full of surprises, things, situations, everything change. And I love things if they're fun. And guess what? They don't need to be fun. We have creative powers within us to make things fun. And that is why I love people, because that's the best way I learn. Just for example, just seeing his face gives me, even if I can't hear him, just seeing his face is kind of a reminder, because that neuroassociative condition, it's the conditioning, because he to me is all about wisdom, just being present, and just acknowledging whatever it is. Because truly, nobody can claim that we are experts in anything, right? We are just right at this moment. How well were we able to tackle or manage whatever is going on without having some long lasting effect on our emotions, on our mental health and physical health? So that's why I just love you to pieces, my brother. You are that's symbol for me to acknowledge, to connect with my inner being, and then ask myself, okay, what is going on? Are you over dramatizing things, or are you able to see it as it is and then come up with a creative solution? So we need all our wisdom, wisdom brothers and sisters around us. So he's one of them. So would you mind, in today's session, would you mind sharing something like, because stress is so on the rise, anxiety, stress, I hear that a lot, emotional pain, grief, some shocking news or something. So for managing these emotions, what would be some of your best tips? I know you have a lot, a lot of knowledge that you have gathered throughout your journey, but if you don't mind dropping a few of them over here for our beautiful friends, what would be the first approach in your case, or you advise your clients when there is, suddenly you find yourself in a stressful or unexpected, shocking situation?
Yeah. So yeah, and those are great. That's a great question, and it's probably one of the most important central pieces to our experience of being alive. The solution, what all of those situations have in common, they evoke feelings in us and reactions, and the way we handle those feelings is key to how we move through the situation and come out of the situation. And the ability to feel your feelings, it sounds simple at first, but no, that's actually what most of the time we're not actually feeling our feelings. There's an onset of a feeling, usually something uncomfortable, like you said, it could be shocking, it's just sudden. And because it's uncomfortable, we immediately push it away. So we're not fully feeling our feelings. We're just kind of like reacting to the feeling, which is very different than allowing the feeling to be, giving it space to be, fully feeling it, allowing it to pass, because naturally feelings arise and then they leave us again. That's their normal motion, right? That's the normal flow. But when we react to the feeling, feeling uncomfortable or frightened and so forth, it actually keeps it stuck. So, and then from there, it actually gets worse and stays with us much longer, and it can grow into something much bigger. So the task is to develop an awareness of one's feelings. So whenever something is happening, notice where you feel that in your body. Just, it's somewhere. It's, in your stomach, in your chest, in your heart, in your throat, your head. It could be anywhere, right? Notice where that is, and really feel it. And that means not reacting to it, like pushing it away or pushing it down. Take some skill at first to do that, because you really have to become aware of your body. But once you do that and get a more of a hang of like, this is how I'm feeling, and that being present with that feeling, then that feeling actually leaves us again. They come and go. So learning to feel your feelings, the simplest way that I think I described in our last session was to practice putting your attention on your breath. So that way you stay connected to your body, either through your breath coming in and out of your nostrils, your nose, or following it down into your stomach, back out of your mouth, and whatever it may be. It's a very simple exercise. 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening, and it'll get you more and more in tune with your body. Of like you're able to keep your attention on your feelings. So this is what's happening in my body. So then when we encounter situations in life, in everyday life, we're able to notice more quickly, oh, this is how it's impacting me, how it's making me feel, and allowing that feeling to be and giving it the space to be. That's kind of where we want to be headed, to really be present in our feelings, and that's really how we prevent them from getting stuck. And the more we prevent current feelings from getting stuck, the more we allow them to, to come and go, older stuck feelings will rise to the surface, and we start to release those. So there's just a healing mechanism process that we all have access to, and it's really beautiful. We just have to spend some time on it. There are even simpler things to address, like if we're truly in shock, if we're really like startled and frightened, and we're already in reaction, then simple things like knowing when to step away, knowing when to walk out into, leave the room if you have to, and just say, I need to excuse myself and think this through, or whatever it is, to get away from that reactive state initially. And from there, you could even just go for a walk, step outside into nature if it's around you somewhere, and kind of change the energy that's occupying you. And then from there, you can again approach the situation and assess it and see what you can do about it. But so difficult challenges. These challenges come along, and we because we feel triggered, right? And the reason we feel triggered, it's because something inside of us is not healed. It's reactive. It's reacting to the situation. So it's not the people. It's not the situation that we should blame for hurting us or for triggering us, but rather it's the fact that they're pointing to something inside of us that is unhealed. Otherwise, we wouldn't feel triggered. We wouldn't even notice. The situation would just pass us by. So everything's a reflection of us. We're experiencing the world around us as a reflection of us through our own lens of who we are. So there's always more to be learned about ourselves, and the focus really should be on what is this saying about me, who I am, what I need to work on, where I need to heal, and so forth.
Wow, so profound. And you're so right. It's all about perception through all our senses, right? And this journey, this being with my breath, or it's so beautiful. And I'm literally an elementary student over here, because I've seen my dad practice. He's my guru. Practice throughout his life. In the morning, first thing he would do his prayers, like after drinking water, and do the breathing. And he would gently ask us to. I was like, always remember, it's like wastage of time. How can you just sit still and just chant or do something? And now I do the same thing, and my kids are like not there yet. They're like, mommy is just fit for the Himalayas. Like, drink your green tea and chant your mantras. You're like oldies. But now I see the wisdom. As I was saying, I'm learning in this process, but it's such a simple, beautiful space to begin your journey, to help us to be responsible, be able to respond than react. So thank you so much for sharing that. There's so much to learn, I feel. And I recently have understood the power of being open and vulnerable, because always throughout, I'm being very open and vulnerable here. I still struggle if tears are welling in my eyes. I mean, for whatever reason, I find it hard to express. Like I cry. I would rather cry alone or not cry at all. And I would constantly find distractions, so that not to acknowledge my feelings. And literally, it's a little more than a year, I would say, and thanks to the tools that I use, have literally helped me gain that clarity. It is so important to acknowledge what our hearts, our minds are telling us. Because physically, if anything happens, we are immediately able to notice that and do something about it. But emotions are so subtle, yet so strong and profound. We need to pay attention. We need to spend more loving time with us. So, and thank you for helping us do that. So as I said, I'm very new and this is precious. That's why I love doing this, guys, on the Wellness Wednesday, because that's one of my self-care days. And we get busy, right? We don't have time to chit chat. And I'll tell you how you can tell that he has accomplished so many things in this field and gained so much knowledge and wisdom through his experience and his researching and investing the time that he has. Because the questions that I ask him, it's totally impromptu. We don't do any like back channel preparation and you're going to talk about this topic. He's that kind of person, brother, to me, that I can ask anything anytime. And I love to be surrounded by those people. I don't care if I have few friends, but those friends should be the ones that I can open up my heart and I ask questions. And it's the same thing, always, just being able to be open and clear. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
That's
of course. And I think that's something that many people may have experienced if you've had a teacher, for example, who reads off of bullets or a slide or PowerPoint presentation. It doesn't feel as alive when somebody is maybe the term free forming really, but they're in a stream of consciousness. They're responding to the audience, to the energy in the room, to what it's coming through them, which there's nothing more real than that, as opposed to trying to prepare. And it always comes across as rigid and kind of cold and not really alive. So it was natural between us, but if sometimes an interviewer might send me some questions and I'll respond back, no, I'm not going to look at these, because then I start thinking about it, and then it just comes out artificial. So it only respond to life as it's happening. There's so much freshness, so much curiosity, so much newness. Every moment is something special and something magical, and because you're open to it, you're actually responding to it, you're receiving it, you're allowing it to unfold, as opposed to preparing and blocking it and projecting what you want to have happen. It's artificial. It's actually it's hindering the natural unfolding of life. So the only time we're really true co-creators is when we're in the moment and responding to situations as they happen and questions that come up, and as we speak, and that's the most natural state to be in, and it's a lot of fun.
a lot of fun to be in the flow, right? Everything
Yes.
is dynamic and it is cyclical. Everything happens
Mm-hmm.
in a cycle. So if we are now blocking our emotions, guess what? They will show up in some way or the other. And it has shown up in my life. And always I feel that I don't like to put myself in any box like, okay, done. This is done. I have achieved this. Like personal development or self-realization done, 100%. It can never be, because again, we are different. I don't know tomorrow how I will be, but doesn't matter. However I will be, I have my resources in place. Number one resource is my own breath. Number two, I would say they go hand in hand, is paying attention, right, to whether what resource I need, and then reaching out, just like you and other friends. And that's what that matters. Every relationship is based on friendship, right? We have been
Yes.
put together for a reason. Like, it's not just by any chance that I came to know of you. And then we are here chatting and having so much fun, just having conversation. Like, we literally can lock our brains and just have heart-to-heart chat. And that is, I think, the reason why human beings come together in life, right? Just co-create and then poof, go.
Poof. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Part of that topsoil that my dad always used to remind me, and that has been so phenomenal because it helps me to step away from the little drama and all things
Mm.
that come up, right? Does it really matter? Like, I'll tell you, literally last night, my son, my 14-year-old, he came at 9:30 in the night after basketball and all this. He's so focused in basketball, right? So, okay, what about the studies and all, and the food, the nutrition and all? So when he came, and nighttime, I'm ready for bed. Okay, that time my brain doesn't. I'm just good for cuddles and hugs and massages and all. So when I found that he was getting late and late, so I felt the emotion welling up inside me. Of course, I used my tools, my oils, but then when he came, I made that decision that to serve him the food and then just leave him alone, because I knew, I could tell that he was exhausted, he was tired. It is what it is, just accept. So at night that I go to massage his feet or something, he was a little agitated or whatever about it. I just left it. So I did not go into his room. I went after he had fallen asleep. So that was a choice I could make because of such interactions, learning, and also the tools that we have now. But if it was 3, 4 years ago, I would have reacted. I would have, like, I need to get it out of my system kind of a thought. No, we don't literally. There are better ways to get it out of the system. And sometimes it's just as you mentioned, just, detach, right? Remove yourself from the situation. So
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for people like you all and the work that you do. So everybody, please make sure that you connect with him and stay in his, as I always say, in warm and fuzzy circle of your BFFs. And he's definitely one of those. He's such
Oh.
a kind-hearted soul, and always, always, how can I improve someone's life? How can I help? I keep looking for friends who always are about how can I help? How can I make use of my life that I've been blessed with? So he's one of those. Now, another thing I would love to ask you, or do you have something to share before I'm just asking questions?
Well, pretty much every other word that you say brings up another whole, topic or another area. Maybe the one thing that I can add to what you described with the situation with your son is when we're able to keep our essentially everyone is seeking to have an experience when somebody comes to us or when we engage with somebody. You can kind of already, through their mannerism and through their energy field and through the posture and whatever led to you coming together, you can get a sense for the experience that the other person is seeking to have. And when we support that experience, and we're focused on supporting that experience, it takes, we don't inject ourselves and our needs into that, but we're able to be there for the other person, and holding space is the term, and really support them in that need to express themselves. And it can be our turn. It should be our turn at a different time as well for us to express ourselves, right? Giving and receiving. But so that's helped me a lot, is to really focus on what the other person is seeking to experience and express, and that really makes them feel heard by you and seen by you and supported by you, and and then they get to kind of release, and then they can return that favor as well. And so everyone just grows from the situation, and you bond and you feel your unity, and everything gets better and better.
So true. And sometimes it's, again, I catch myself, because being the nurturer, sometimes it can be hard for mommies. Motherhood is my favorite job. Mommies being the nurturer, and it's always one way, mostly, right? Parent and kids
Mhm.
relationship is usually one way. Every other relationship, yes, works very well on reciprocity. That's what my mother-in-law always used to say. The
Mhm.
balance is required, right? But I find it challenging not only to accept compliments, for example, or like I feel good, but I can't receive it. And I'm in the process. I'm getting there. I'm learning with all my beautiful people in our community, like you all. I'm learning to be better in that. And also to express the challenges that I might be having, because it makes me feel that, oh, I'm needing, I should be giving. And that has happened because emotionally it is always me being the provider. But no, these are all dialogues that I tell
Mhm.
myself, catching
Yeah.
myself. So important. That's why I love to continue to learn, because I'm not there where you are yet. So you are my guru when it comes to, just helping ourselves lead a more realized life. So I
Yes.
see out there, and I'm just catching up with you. Because we are gurus in all our own areas, right? So
Exactly. There's no need for comparison, really. We're being ourselves, and that's the most we can strive for. What you mentioned there about receiving, it's something I've had to learn to do as well. And it goes back to what we were saying about feeling your feelings. Receiving brings up certain feelings as well, and if we have trouble receiving it, maybe there's guilt associated to it with it. It's that, you know, we should be giving and not receiving, or we feel selfish, whatever we've kind of these mental imprints that we're conditioned with. But so the same thing applies there, is when somebody extends a compliment, feel where you feel that and give that space to be. Don't push that feeling away either. Right? We were talking about uncomfortable feelings previously, but even with comfortable ones, sometimes that could be even harder. Just really feel where you feel it, and let it, give it space, you know, soak it up, you know, let it sink into you, and let it be. And then also don't cling to it. We have to let that go as well, right? Exactly. And then we continue, you know, unfolding, expanding into the next moment. But so no clinging and resisting to feelings, and that moves us forward and keeps us free and free flowing.
True. And
Yeah.
that's what, you know, we are such fascinating beings, right? The most sophisticated machinery, that I say,
Yeah.
especially. And that's why not knowing is a wonderful space, because you're constantly explorative. And you're so right, it's not about competition. It is like, I love to surround myself with gurus in different fields, gurus, because that's the best way from human learn the best, right? At least I learn the best. Like, they are iconic to me. And symbols really work well for me to have quick reminders. Like I said, yesterday with my son's experience, as I found myself, the emotions welling up inside me, the quick way that I could be at the space that I needed to be as a sensible mom, sensible human being, is we use the acronym Only with Love in our family, and as well as our team. So owl, owl. So I could calm down and come to that space, and then I could be as he needed me to be at that time. And then, of course, there is time, then we can talk, right? Set healthy boundaries. But you are so right, to be with your feelings. And it can be challenging sometimes because of the preconditioning and the society and the world. But one precious life. So that's why we need to be surrounded by gurus like him. He's one of my gurus. I'm so
Yes.
for your knowledge and wisdom,
Oh.
what you teach others to do, to live an empowered life. So I'm truly so grateful to you. So
Oh.
to you.
Oh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm receiving right now. I'm in receiving mode and soaking it up though, so it feels really good. Thank you.
Yay! And that's how I could talk to him forever, right? Don't you guys feel like that? Like you want to soak up all his wisdom and love, ask bunch of questions. But guess what? We will be coming back every single month on the third Wednesday for our Co-Elevation Wednesday series, Wellness Wednesday series. Now, if you have any questions, always feel free to ask. Please touch base with him. Please check out his contents, his amazing contents on Instagram, YouTube, and other places. And come back again next month on the third Wednesday. And we are coming up with some plans to do some more. Give us some ideas. How can we serve you best? Give us some ideas, okay? So that we can chalk some time out in our calendars that mutually works for us. And then we can show up for you, okay? The whole idea is to learn together, right? Doing hashtag all things good together. So any final thoughts, my dear?
I just, you know, it's such a pleasure. You know, I look forward to this moment every month. I wish it was even more often, but the energy is so wonderful. It's, you know, the things I say, when they resonate, it's really only something that you're resonating it because you feel it within yourself, because you own it, you have it, you know, you're recognizing it within yourself. So it's, I may, you know, shine the light, but ultimately it's we're feeling ourselves. So if anything we say here, you know, feels right and resonates, it's because that's who you are, and that's it's something to be proud of, and to love yourself for. And so that self love will it's the fuel for life.
Self-love. Yes, self-love. Self-care is not selfish. Self-love. And that's what you can do in his presence, even in your presence. And all those hearts that are coming out, I can see is an indicator of people receiving what you said, right? We can keep hearing all these talks and all, but if it doesn't resonate and sits in our heart spaces, internally we don't see those changes happening, and it's a baby step, step by step. So let's all be patient, kind, and loving to ourselves and as well as everyone, and let's be raw and real and just show up. Okay, those number of followers, those how much money, what mansion, what car, all those don't matter. What matters is how good are we feeling. Oh, feel good, the feel good factor.
Yes.
So keep feeling good and keep exploring and learning how can you feel better and better and better. That's why
Beautiful.
surrounding yourself with people like my dear brother here, Chris Sirac, is a wonderful, wonderful place to be. So surround yourself with such people. And thank you so much for your time. I can't wait for next month to come again, co-live, co-elevation live, where we elevate each other with our energies and our vibes and our thoughts and our prayers. So thank you so much. And thank you for the extra time. Thank you for being flexible.
Of course. Always a deep, deep pleasure.
And you have a rocking day. Stay blessed, my dears, and continue to be a blessing to as many people as you can, including yourself. We will hop back into the clubhouse and see who all are hanging in there and also acknowledge their presence. We see you all. We receive all your hearts. So thank you. Thank you. Keep loving others. Only with love. Work only with love. The ow. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.